Hey, what's going on? Charles Austin here, and let's be fit forever. So, tonight I am coming to you this evening. I am trying out a new stream time. It was kind of just a shot in the dark here. It's not really a hard start time. I think right now, looking at my clock, it says it's 8:23 Central Time. So we'll see how this time goes. Trying to mix things up just a little bit. But like I said, tonight, not today, tonight I want to talk to you a little bit about why you can't lose weight. And obviously, it kind of goes without saying, there's millions and millions upon millions of people who struggle with this each and every day. Each and every year. So, as I'm trying to adjust my microphone, excuse me. So, I figured, why not? Let's talk about this. Let's explain this. Let's break this down and give some folks some goods on to why this is such an issue. But as always, before we jump on in this evening, make sure you like this video. Because it's going to be a good one, right? Make sure you like this video, share this video out. Again, it's going to be a good one. Somebody's going to learn something once they watch it. So once you learn something and you figure something out, you have your aha moment, share this video out. And then once you like it and subscribe and you share this video out, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you're always up to date with the latest content here on the channel. Because every week we're dropping knowledge bombs on how to make you live your healthiest, best self and how you can be fit forever. All right. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. I don't like to waste a lot of time. And as you can clearly see in the image that I started out with today, yeah, that's a lot of people, right? You got your weight scale, you just stepped off of it, and all you want to do is sit in the corner and cry, right? Or you want to just get in the fetal position and just relax, whatever it may be. So that's frustrating, right? You're trying to lose weight and it just isn't working, right? And I'm going to kind of show you a couple of things, quite a few things here to kind of make you understand exactly why it is such a struggle for so many people, right? So what I did is I literally just, typed in the search, how to lose weight, right? Because if you're somebody who says, hey, I want, you wake up Monday morning, Tuesday morning, whatever day it is, and you say, you know what, it's time. I've been struggling with my health. I want to lose weight. It's time, right? So you might start and you might say, you know what, how do I lose weight? Because there's so much information out there on the web. How do I lose weight, right? How to lose weight. So you'll see that I'm going to go through the top sites that'll come up in this search, right? So we see one here. We'll talk about that one. There's one here, and some credible resources, right? Excuse me. So these are some of the sites that came up during my search, and we're going to cut through some of those and explain a couple of things so you can see why it is so difficult to lose weight, right? So here's one. And again, y'all know I use Mayo Clinic a lot. Love that site, right? Lots of good information. But unfortunately here, it's a little bit lacking based on the fact that, based on the way it's describing weight loss, right? So it kind of gives you a little overview of what calories are. And if you don't know, calories is what gives us energy, right? We're not here to talk about that, right? So as we scroll down, the first thing they start talking about is cutting calories, right? And it goes without saying that, yes, if you're trying to lose weight, you definitely need to make sure you cut calories, okay? So again, cutting calories needs to include change, but it doesn't have to be hard. Well, who said cutting calories is easy? Not this guy. I've never coached anybody to say, hey, this is going to be easy, right? So that's the first thing, kind of setting you up to say, oh, this is going to be easy. Not so fast, right? So these changes can have a big impact on the number of calories you take in. So right here, it starts off with telling you, hey, skipping high calorie, low nutritious items. So right off the bat, the first question you should be asking yourself, well, wait a minute. What is a low nutrition item? Okay. Right. And if you were all to think about this immediately right now, you say, well, what's a low nutritious item? Right. So many of us will kind of go to the stuff that we kind of know right off the bat. If you're drinking sodas and if you're eating candy and stuff like that. Yeah. But again, unfortunately, there's other things on that list that will count as low nutrition that we still think is healthy. Right. Things things like meats, things like dairy products, right? Those are low nutrition items, but we think they're healthy, right? Swapping high calorie foods for lower calorie foods. Okay, well, here's another thing. How high calorie? How low calorie? Okay, so these are bullet points, but it's kind of empty calories. That's one of the things that you learn about low nutritious foods, right? If you drink a soda, if you eat a candy bar, anything like that, that's kind of like an empty calorie. It's calories with no nutrition. So here, this is kind of like advice with no substance, right? Swapping high calorie foods for low calorie. Again, how high on the calorie, how low on the calorie, okay? And then here's another one, cutting portion sizes. Well, cutting it to what, right? What is my portion size now? Okay, is that too big or too small? Okay, so when I'm changing my portion size, what am I cutting it to? Okay, they're telling you to cut your portion sizes, but how do you know how far to cut it? How do we know how to change it, right? So again, skipping 1 or 2 high calorie items is a good place to start when cutting calories. Again, how high of the calories? These things are all very crucial and all very important for you to actually be successful when you're trying to lose weight. And the most interesting thing here is that everybody is their own individual. Nobody is going to lose weight the same way. So again, this is kind of good advice, but where's the rest? What do I do with this, right? So again, here's more. For example, you could skip your morning latte, soda at lunch, or that evening bowl of ice cream. Okay. Well, how long do I do this? Do I do this every day? Do I do this every week? These are just good. This is good advice, but how often do I do this? How long do I do this? Does that mean I can never have this again? Does that mean I can have this again? There's a lot of questions that you can unpack here with this information. So again, here they're just kind of giving you alternatives, right? And then here, which these are actually pretty good. So I'm equal opportunity. If you're giving good advice, I'll point it out. If it's not the greatest, I'll point it out. But here's good advice. Instead of having the latte with all the extra sugar and cream, just black coffee. Bam. Right? You're cutting calories. Excellent. Right? Instead of having chocolate ice cream, which we should never have dairy products, right? Bam, you're having fruit, which you never can go wrong. Okay. Instead of having soda, you can have sparkling water, right? So those are actually good options. But again, the question that you should still be asking is, well, how much of this should I have? How much of this should I cut out? Okay. Those are questions that need to have answers for you to be successful. Just doing this alone is not going to make you be successful, right? So again, now they're talking about swapping high calorie foods for low calorie choices. Well, now whole milk for skim milk. And if you're new to the channel, I have a whole series on why dairy is death. Okay, so check that playlist out. You can find it in my playlist, right? So skim milk, doesn't matter if it's skim milk, doesn't matter if it's whole milk. That's going to lead to you constantly having struggles with losing weight. Okay, look at this. Now they're telling you instead of eating this type of pepperoni pizza and eating 2 slices, you're still going to eat pizza with cheese. This is not a healthy food to be eating on a weight loss plan, right? Again, how often? There's still questions here. How often, right? So I'm going to move on here, but I did want to make sure that you kind of saw some ideas here why it can be confusing, right? So again, here, use a calorie counter, right? It says check out reputable sources that offer tools to count calories. Well, what reputable sources? How do you know where to go, and how do you know if the source is reputable? These are all things that kind of lead you with more questions than answers, right? So here's another one, how to lose weight. And I'm gonna kind of speed this up again. Top 18 weight loss tips, right? So again, this is coming from my search of how to lose weight, right? Choose a low carb, high satiety diet. And it says, or high satiety diet. So let's click that one. Well, first of all, the first thing you should be noticing is that we have a problem right here. All right. Anytime you start with, we have a problem here with this word, and we also have a problem with this word. Okay. So again, anytime you're focusing your energy on, I'm going to make sure my nutrition intake is low carb. All right. Now we're going to struggle with energy. We're going to struggle with giving our body the fuel it needs to do the things it needs to do. All right. And then once we start introducing carbs again, after we get off that low carb diet and we start introducing carbs again, then our weight is going to creep back up. Because yes, low carb, easy way to cut weight fast, but it comes back. Okay. It's nothing you can survive on. And then here's the other word that you should never say, diet. We need to avoid that word. It's about lifestyle, folks. It's about lifestyle. So if you're saying I need to go on this diet and it's going to be a low carb diet, sure. That first month, you're going to lose a lot of weight. But what about month 2, 3, 4, 5, and the rest of your life? What are we doing then? Right? That's the question. So scroll back up to the top. Okay. Let's see what it says here. Eat real food. All right. So again, if you want to lose weight, avoid special low carb products that are full of carbs. This should be obvious, but creative marketers, yes, lots of marketing, right? So let's see. Yeah, I don't know where I'm getting the information from here. Minimally processed. What does that mean? Okay. Again, we have to get into the fact of understanding, hey, it sounds nice, but what does minimally processed mean? Right? Can it be processed? Can they add a few ingredients? Can they add a few additives? Can it go through one processing plant? Can it be this type of food? Can it be frozen? Again, this is kind of giving you information without giving you the goods, right? What else? Let me pick one more from this one. Let's see. Now, this is actually a good one. Right here, one of the most important things right here, being persistent. Oh my goodness. So this is a good one on the list, y'all. Being persistent. Literally, when I take my family members through my Fit Forever family experience, one of the first things I teach is why it's so important to be persistent. So this is a good one, right? Now, the only thing I have a problem with here is how they're focusing on specific things associated with losing weight, right? Now, yes, I know you're like, well, wait a minute, Charles, the video is titled How to Lose Weight. Yes, but we'll get to that. All right. We don't want to focus on the weight. The weight will take care of itself. All right. And now they're talking about the speed of how you lose weight and all that good stuff. Again, none of this is focusing on what you should be doing. Right. And then anytime you see this, you should run for the hills. At no point should you ever be focused on losing weight fast. You should run for the hills. So again, the title sounds nice. It's very important to be persistent, but there's no focus on what we should really be doing in order to have our ultimate goal reached. So let's see, was there anything else here before I move on? Let's see. Okay. So here's one. I didn't see it earlier. Let's do this one. Avoid overeating fruit. So this is interesting, right? Let's see. Let's see what they're saying. Eating whole fruits in moderation, especially ones that are low in sugar like berries, can absolutely be part of a healthy diet. Fiber is good. Yep, all good. Larger quantities of fruit, however, will deliver a significant sugar load to your intestines. Even if only 70% of your sugar is absorbed, 70% is a big number and still a big number. Isn't fruit natural? So again, I guess they're basically focusing on the fact that some fruit can be high in sugar, and it can. But I promise you, fruit is not the problem in the Western world. All right. People are not overweight and diseased because they eat too much fruit. That ain't it. So again, this is more stuff to kind of throw okie dokes into what you really should be focusing on, right? Now, I did notice on this site, it did have a mention of avoiding eating less dairy. So let's see what it says. Okay. Okay. So imagine that. Cutting back on high fat dairy products may accelerate weight loss. Yeah, sounds good to me. All right. Now they're saying avoid nuts. Again, nuts are not the reason why the Western world is diseased and obese, right? So again, this is bad advice, folks. All right. Nuts can be high in fat, but yes, they're going to be high in the fats that your body actually needs, right? So if you eat, for example, walnuts, they're going to provide you with good, healthy fats that your body needs. And the same thing goes for almonds and cashew, all that kind of stuff, right? So again, this sounds nice, and you're going to probably read this and say, oh my gosh, this is all good stuff. But when you really dissect it, you're looking at stuff and you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't really work, right? This is not exactly what I need to be focusing on. So again, pay attention to these things. You have to dissect this information. And then when you're looking at it, is it actually telling you something, right? So here's another one. I'm really going to speed it up now because I don't want to waste too much time, because I do want to make sure I give y'all some solutions instead of talking about the problem. And as you've seen so far, the problem is there's a lot of empty calories out there, empty calories, as it goes with advice for actually losing weight, right? How do I do it? You read the article, you go through the steps, and then you say, well, actually, do I have a plan? You told me I should do this, but how do I do this, right? So again, cut back on refined carbs. Well, how much do we cut back, right? What is a refined carb, all right? So let's see. Does it actually tell you in this article what a refined carb is? No, I guess you could click the link if you wanted to. But again, no information here. All right. Now look at this one. Eat protein, eat fat. Okay. Now, obviously, vegetables are awesome. So let's see what it says here. All right. Here we go. Low carb again. Low carb. Okay. Low carb means low energy. Okay. How come I can't complete this workout? Because I have no energy. Let's see. Now, who's going to do all this calculation right here to say, oh, this is how many grams of protein I need, right? I'm going to go ahead and do a calculation per kilogram of body. Nobody's doing that, right? So why is this on here? I would wager that 90, if you lined up 10 people that were trying to lose weight, maybe one of them is going to sit down and get their calculator out and start calculating how much grams of protein they need based on their kilogram body weight. Again, this is too much stuff that's thrown in your face, and you're like, what do I do with this? Now, look, here's more bad information. Healthy protein sources. All right. Well, it's been well documented, and I just did a stream just the other day on whether or not humans are actually designed to eat meat. So check that one out, y'all. Check that one out. All right. If you don't believe me, fact check me. Look up the information for yourself, right? So I just did a stream the other day on if we're designed to eat meat. So look, healthy protein sources: beef, chicken, pork, and lamb. None of those are healthy protein sources, right? These are all things that lead to more inflammation, more cholesterol, more heart disease risk, more high blood pressure, all that stuff. Fish and seafood, okay? Shellfish is something that hardly should ever be eaten, okay? All right? And most of the salmon that you eat is mainly farm raised, okay? So look into farm raised fishing, right? If you think that the salmon that you're getting, unless you catch it yourself, or you know for a fact that the salmon that's on your plate was wild caught, in the areas where salmon live, and it was shipped directly to your grocery, most likely you're eating farm raised salmon. All right. And look into the pesticides and the chemicals that are used in farm raised fish. Right. So again, not healthy here. Super high in cholesterol here. All right. Now we get to something that's actually worth something. Plant-based proteins like beans, legumes, quinoa, stuff like that. All right, we got one bit of good information with a bunch of stuff that we shouldn't be doing. Okay. Vegetables, I don't need to go any further than to say, yes, you should be eating vegetables, but look how it's worded. Don't be afraid to load your plate with leafy green vegetables. Well, why would you ever be afraid to eat leafy green vegetables? They're awesome for you, right? So load up on these. Obviously, eat as many as you want. All right. No big deal, right? Let's see. Move your body. That goes without saying. But again, how much should I move my body? How much exercise should I get? What type of exercise should I get? How do I maintain consistency when I start exercising? These are all things that you have to think about when you say, hey, I'm going to lose weight. But the next question is, how do I keep it off? Okay. What else? Look again. Look, I'm going to reputable places, right? All right. So first step is make a commitment. All right. So making the decision to lose weight, to change your lifestyle and become healthier is a big step. Absolutely. If you can't make a commitment to yourself, it's not going to happen. So that's super important. That's good advice. Okay. Now, as we get into setting realistic goals, and then, yes, taking stock of where you are, obviously you need to figure out where you are in order for you to figure out where you want to go. Okay. But setting realistic goals. Now, here, how do you know what a realistic goal is? That's a good question to start asking, right? Everybody's different. Okay, this is general guidance, right? But how do I know what's a realistic goal for me? Okay, what may be realistic for one person may not be realistic for me. Okay, so it's important to understand that, yes, setting realistic goals is important. They should be specific and realistic and all that kind of good stuff, right? But as it says here, setting unrealistic goals such as losing 20 pounds in 2 weeks can leave you feeling defeated and frustrated. Yes. Well, how much weight should I be losing in 2 weeks? Where's the answer to that question? Okay, I don't see it there. All right. Identify resources for information and support. Find family members or friends who will support you in your weight loss efforts. Joining a weight loss group or visiting. Where do you even go to find this stuff? Like, I'm in this business. I don't even know where to go to find this stuff. Okay. Now, I do think this is good advice here. Finding a dietitian. Absolutely. By all means. You know, if you want to lose weight, go to your dietitian before you go to your doctor. Okay. Your doctor doesn't know anything about nutrition and food science. So go to a dietitian before you go to your doctor. And then look at here. Healthcare providers provide further information about medications and surgery. Now you're on a page to where now they're saying, hey, you know, if it's not working, we got medications, we got surgery to help. So let me ask you a question. You know, if you're somebody who's 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 pounds overweight, did you get surgery to get 100 pounds overweight? Well, why do you need surgery to get 100 pounds back? Why do you need a surgery to get the 100 pounds off? Devices, medication, and surgery. I did a stream about medications and how the vast majority of medications that are prescribed have several side effects. So while it may help you lose weight, it might be destroying your kidneys. It might be helping you lose weight. It might be destroying your liver. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind. Continue to check in and monitor your progress. Well, how often should I monitor progress? How do I know what is progress? Okay. How often should I be checking in? These are all questions that don't have answers on these general advice sites, right? So look, I'm going to move on because I think you guys got the point, because look, there's two more websites, right? And then I pulled this one up because look at this one. It starts out talking about intermittent fasting, and look at, it says, hey, try the 5-2 diet, fast on 2 days, 7 days. Like, how do you do this? How sustainable is this? I'm going to fast 2 out of every 7 days. So that means on fasting days, I'm only eating 500 calories. Well, what if on that day I have something very, very important to do that needs a lot of energy? I'm not going to have any energy on 500 calories. And again, you can't sustain this. You can't go 365 days in a year and every 2 days out of a week, you're not eating more than 500 calories. And look at this. How do we know this is going to work for everybody? That's just a general number that they just popped up and made up out of anywhere. How do you know this works? Oh, on the fasting day, eat 500 calories. Based on what? Based on what? Okay. Or what about the 16-8 method? Fast for 16 hours and eat only during an 8-hour window. Are you serious? Who can do these things? We live in a world where people work, people have children, people are going to school, people are working and going to school. They're taking their kids to school. You got too much to think about when you're trying to fast for 16 hours and eating only during an 8-hour window, right? Track your diet and exercise. Again, how? How do I track it? How do I track it? How do I track it? What am I tracking? What am I looking for? What's good? What's bad? Etc. Eat mindfully. What does that mean, right? Okay, now this is actually good. Sit down to eat, preferably at a table. That's good because it gives you time to slow down and actually chew your food and enjoy your family, right? So definitely eating slowly is a good advice. Make considered food choices. Choose foods that are full of nourishing nutrients and those that will satisfy you for hours. Foods like what? All right. So again, I know I've been kind of hammering down on the problem. And if you haven't caught on by now, the problem is if you decide that you want to lose weight, it's very difficult to find a website to go find the information you need, because it's going to be a lot of smoke and mirrors. It's going to be a lot of like, ooh, that sounds nice, but how do I put that into practice? Okay. And that's why I'm dissecting it the way I am, right? Eat protein for breakfast. Protein can help regulate appetite hormones, make you feel full. All right. Good choices of high protein breakfast include eggs. Okay, no, we've already talked about that. All right, high cholesterol, right? Oats, cool, I love it. Nuts, I love it. Seed butters, I love it. Quinoa porridge, sardines, nope. Chia, I love it. Stuff like that. Okay, cool, awesome. Doesn't mean you have to eat protein for breakfast. Some people don't like eating that for breakfast. Some people say, I want to wake up and have an apple. Cool. We'll work that out. We'll make that work for you. Some people don't want to eat these things for breakfast, right? Cutting back on sugar and refined carbs. Again, how much are we cutting back? It just says cut back. How much am I cutting back? Can I not have it? Can I never have it? Can I have it sometimes? And when I do have it, how much can I have? How do I fit this into my daily routines? These are all questions that you should be having answers to if you're trying to lose weight and keep it off, versus them just saying, hey, cut back on sugar. Eat plenty of fiber. Now, this is probably the best one I've seen so far. This is awesome. I'm going to give this one 2 thumbs up because you should always eat fiber. Okay? Fiber is super important. So by all means, eat fiber. Eat fiber. All right? Balancing gut bacteria, good night's sleep, that's definitely important. Managing your stress, definitely important. So out of all the ones that we've seen, this one actually has some good advice. But it's still, managing your stress and getting enough sleep is not enough in order for you to actually say, ooh, I lost the exact amount of pounds I wanted to lose in the time I planned to lose it, and I'm going to keep it off for the rest of my life. That's not enough, right? All right, I'm not going to do one more, I don't think, unless there's something that I scanned through this that I just can't pass up. But yeah, I think you guys and gals and ladies and gents get the point, right? You want to lose weight, right? And every single page you go to has basically the same stuff or a lot of confusing things. And anytime it has the word diet, you should run. The 5-2 diet, the 16-8 method, we should run. Okay, we should run from those things. All right, so real quick, I want to give you a couple of snippets. Let me do this real quick. I want to give you a couple of snippets of some stuff that I teach some of my family members here inside my Fit Forever family. Okay, just so you can have an idea of how I explain things and teach. So these are some screen grabs from some things that I teach. So here was from a lesson where I really was focusing on consistency, right? So I told you one of the first things I teach my family members is that you got to make sure that the most important thing that you remember is to be consistent, right? So this is one of my favorite little scenarios of how you got to understand and grasp and put your mind around how important it is to be regular, right? So let's say, for example, you start off, before you get into this first week and you're at 160 pounds and you say, okay, look, I did everything right. I lost 2 pounds. I'm 158 pounds. Bam. All right. So I go into my second week and I get a little cocky. I be like, yeah, man, I lost them 2 pounds. I'm looking good, feeling good. And you don't follow the rules, right? Because there's strategies and techniques that we use inside the family, right? You don't follow the rules, you gain those 2 pounds back. So now you're back at 160. Okay. So you start week 3, you get back into the program, you get back into what you're supposed to be doing, you lose those 2 pounds again. And starting at week 4, you're back where you were 2 weeks ago. So you started week 2 at 158. You didn't stay consistent, and a month has passed and you're back at 158. So the point of this little slide here is for you to imagine the scenario of why it is important. This is one of the most important things. So if you're not jotting this down as a little nugget, one of the most important things you can do to lose weight is to remain consistent. You got to remain consistent, right? So even if it's something as simple as for a fact that you can get a walk in every day, at 6 a.m. and you're going to walk for an hour or whatever it is, you got to keep doing it. Okay? You got to keep doing it. And obviously there's more to it than that. But if that's something that you can do, you got to keep doing it. Very, 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 very important to remain consistent because you can see how easy it is to fall off the wagon, right? So real quick, I wanted to show you another screen grab here. Let me go there because I want to make sure I pull it up so you can see it. One more screen grab and we are done for the evening. All right, let's pull this one up. All right, here we go. So this one is about, all right, we're back. Sorry about that. Looks like I had a connection issue. So this one's about advertising. And I did a stream a while ago about food ads don't advertise food, they advertise disease. So find that video on my channel. Check it out. I'll show you exactly where it is real quick in a second, because that's a good one. You should definitely check that one out. But the main point is, this is another thing that I teach my family members, right? So all of my folks that's out there, my Fit Forever family, what's up? How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. I'm kicking butt still, all right? Shout out to y'all, because I know y'all work hard, all right? But majority of ads highlight fatty and sugary food. So if you think about it, every time you see a food ad, it's pizza, it's soda, it's fast food, it's all that kind of stuff, right? Now, if you're thinking about your children, you're wondering why are they getting out of shape? Why are they unhealthy? Well, if the kids are watching cartoons and stuff like that, they're getting up in the morning. 91% of the Saturday morning foods also sell children high fat, high salt, high sugar, low nutrient foods. So they're putting all this stuff in front of your face. Okay. Okay, it says we're back. It's having some connection issues, so that means I probably need to go ahead and wrap up. All right, probably need to go ahead and wrap up because it has some connection issues. But so again, if I missed anything on this slide and you didn't hear it, I'm going to say it again. Most of the advertising that you'll see for food is going to normally advertise fast food, sugary, soda, candy, pies, all that kind of stuff, right? Fatty, sugary foods. And even for children, they're going to advertise the same things as it says right here. They're going to sell ads on high fat, high salt, all this kind of stuff we don't need, right? So studies have shown that there is a very high correlation between food cues and ads with overeating and obesity. Basically showing the fact that the more likely you're more likely to overeat and be obese based on the food cues and the ads that you see regularly. So this is a screen grab from my lesson on psychology, right? And we get into why it's important to make sure that you're controlling your mental aspect in when you're trying to lose weight, right? Making sure you have the right mentality and understanding all the things that are around you when you're actually trying to lose weight. So again, this is coming from a lesson that I teach my family members on how to be aware of what you see. So again, there's data that even shows that consumers will choose foods with health warning labels as long as the ad is nice. So what this is saying is that, hey, you could have a food in front of you, and on the label it could say this will cause diabetes, right? But if there's a good, cool looking ad that's associated with it, people will still choose it despite the fact that they know that it causes diabetes, right? So I just wanted to give you a couple of nuggets here to understand, number one, how important it is to be consistent. That's one of the things I coach the most. And the other thing is to understand that there's so much that's going on around you, and there's many things that's outside of your control. But if you don't know how to look for it, you're going to fall for it, right? So again, that's kind of what we're talking about there, right? So, yeah. I guess that's it for me now, right? I know I've had some connection issues here. So hopefully I can go ahead and wrap up. But as I always let everybody know, right now you can go right here to Charles Austin Fitness right now. There's my YouTube channel right here. Oh, there it shows that I'm live. Cool. It's still working. I wanted to show you real quick the video on, you can see I have my playlist. You can go check out my playlist right here. This is the one I want y'all to check out right here. Food ads don't advertise food, they advertise disease. Check this video out and, make sure you like it, you share it out. All right. Because I drop major nuggets here on how you need to be able to look for certain things that's advertised to you as far as food goes. So check that one out. But I always want to make sure I remind you that you can try my 3 times to burn challenge absolutely free. 10 whole workouts, as you see right here, 1 through 10. And if you absolutely love what you see and love the workout, you can go to this link that's right here to sign up for the full version that includes 6 more weeks of workouts, a nutrition plan, and also client support. Awesome. I need to pull up my reviews for that at some point. We'll do that. All right. But also you can go to you can go to fitnesscharles.com right now, and you can get more information. I know I've been talking about my family members, like, shout out to my Fit Forever family, right? So again, this is a little bit more in depth system here that gets down to the nitty gritty of specifics with you personally, how you can expect to lose 10 to 30 pounds over 90 days. And the most important part, learn the skills to be fit forever, right? So you want to learn more about that, you can book a free consultation with yours truly, and we can talk it out and work it out right there. Okay. We normally do Q&A at this point. Let's see. Scroll there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. So I'll just read this one. I never considered that. I guess they're talking about the websites that I was showing, like the ones with the information. I never considered that. Good to know that I should be looking a little bit deeper when trying to lose weight. Heck yeah. So I guess that wasn't a question, but that was a comment. Yo, absolutely. So when you're going to these sites and you're like, yo, I need to lose weight, how do I do it? You got to be able to cut through the fat a little bit and see that, hey, this is good general guidance for the most part. Not necessarily, well, some of this stuff is just outright wrong, right? So again, this is an example of something that's just outright wrong, right? At no point should dairy be a part of your weight loss plan or your general nutrition plan, right? If you don't believe me, again, check out my playlist on dairy is death. Check that out, right? But again, yeah, you got to be able to cut through the fat a little bit and dig a little bit deeper and start getting into the questions of like, okay, but what do I need to do specifically? How does this help me? How does this work for you? And again, like I was talking about, my family members, this is what we do. We get into the nitty gritty of you, and we focus on you, and we teach skills. We teach skills. We teach skills. We teach skills about being fit forever. So you lose that weight and you keep it off. All right. But good comment, right? But I'm going to go ahead and wrap for the evening. This has been a long one. Hopefully it helps somebody out. So again, as always, make sure you like this video, share out this video. Okay. Share it out so somebody else can see and learn something. Subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on. Always streaming Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm thinking I'm going to change the time a little bit here. Maybe we'll push it back Monday and Wednesday evenings a little bit later. We'll get a time, but I'll be back with y'all on Wednesday evening, coming up in a couple days here. So until then, as always, please be happy, be healthy, and be fit forever. I'll see y'all next time.